Hello. Today was a good day. I woke up. I listened nonstop to a Simeon Jimmy podcast where he, Rich McCoy, Iggy Eggman Rodriguez, Patchy, and Patchy's wife, as well as a little bit at the end with Biggs Bixington, talked about this new movie called The Drama. Um, and I was curious to hear their thoughts on it. Mostly because like the trailer made it out like Zendaya did something really, really bad, and I was like, "Oh, what did she do?" And then they reveal it in the podcast, and apparently she was planning on a violent school activity, is what I'll say. But yeah, I mean, pretty. But as long as she didn't go through with it and didn't do it, I mean, as long as it just remained a thought, I don't know, shouldn't be like something to be like, oh my gosh, I'm evil, but I don't know. Anyways, they talked about that. And then afterwards, I went on to go for a walk around the neighborhood while talking about, while listening to a guy talk about investment advice. And then I arrived home. I asked some investment questions on my phone just to get some more clarification. And I used Grok, got some interesting insights. Then I went into the kitchen. I had some pie and ice cream. I was listening to the guy talk about like the artist's two dark side of the moon photos. They basically just tricked the audience. Instead, just talked about some guy who said he saw moon bases like from 30 years ago and didn't even really mention Artemis at all. So that was pretty much a bummer video. Tricked me. Um, yeah, I had coffee too. And then I got dressed and ready for work. And then I prepared my sandwich. It was Wonder buns and mustard, mayonnaise, cheese with um, ham, and then pistachios and some Cheeto puffs. And that was my meal that I prepared. I said goodbye to my mom, my sister, told them I loved them, and then I went over to work where um I had sweeping duties all day, sweep the produce, break room, store, floor, but mostly just stayed out in the front and bagged because it was a really busy day when I was like the only person up in the front. Um, it was so busy I wasn't even able to take my break. That's how busy it was. Um, I asked for my break. I was told that someone else was taking theirs, and then I just continued bagging. But it was so busy that I didn't get a chance to ask again until my lunch break. So yeah, kind of a bummer. Um, and then I punched out for lunch. I had my meal. As I was eating it, I was watching this lady talk about the scientists, and she was like doing all these correlations. Like she was talking about how like NASA wants to make a nuclear reactor on the moon, which is interesting. Wonder why they want to do that. Um, and yeah, pretty much what I watched. I thought the whole moon having nuclear power on it was interesting, so I told everyone I came across and asked them what they thought. Some of them thought it was interesting, some of them didn't like it, some of them thought it was cool. Continued bagging, wiped down check stands, closed produce blinds, brought carts and signs in, cleared lot, brought in clear paper towels, did some go backs, took out the trash, punched out, said goodbye to my co-manager, bye to my coworkers. Well, they left before me, so I said goodbye to them, and then I said goodbye to my co-manager. Drove home. When I arrived, I got some Cheetos. I continued watching that video where the lady said, like, asteroid might hit Earth on the 29th, and, like, billionaires have made bunkers. And so it's like, might be a warning that, like, the apocalypse is upon us or something. Then I watched the Don't Look Up ending because it reminded me of that. And I was like, whoa, it's sad. And then after that, I was listening to like a guy from Northrop Grumman talk about UFOs, and then after that, I watched like this old like Strawberry Fields demo reel that was like made back in 1989, showing what the direction of the project was going to be. Pretty interesting. And I greeted my sister. She gave me a cat, Malcolm, and then I brought Malcolm into the room to be hugged by my mom. And then I went into the living room. I continued watching the Strawberry Fields Forever demo reel, and I told my sister about it. How it was like a spiritual successor to the Beatles' Yellow Submarine, and how it was going to use CG backgrounds with 2D characters. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. Then I took my vitamins and I recorded this video, and that's pretty much the update. I am knocked out and stay way too late, and I'm gonna go to bed. So good night. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.